Gents, I just want to pause the episode for a moment to let you know about the Strong Men of Value Academy. You will have heard me refer to it a number of times, and I want to bring more attention to it. So this isn't just a program, it's a life-changing environment and community of men who are focused on personal and professional growth. We're looking at areas of relationships, wealth, and health, things to help you thrive and maximize your life. Imagine having bi-monthly one-on-one coaching sessions with myself, weekly group coaching calls, and an incredible brotherhood of high achievers by your side. Now we're diving into resilience, leadership, and holistic growth to not just succeed in your career, but to thrive in your health and your relationships. Your journey to greatness, it starts here. So join the movement and you can apply for the Strong Men of Value Academy. You can head to themanthatcanproject.com to find out more. Welcome to the Man That Can Project podcast, a podcast empowering men to take ownership for their lives through higher performance. I'm your host, Lachlan Stuart, and join me for weekly conversations around fitness, mental health, spirituality, relationships, finances, communication, and more. Make sure to hit that subscribe button and please leave a 5-star rating and review. Doing this helps the show to grow and get in the hands of men who really need it. Let's get into today's show. Well, you definitely missed out on joining intake 1 for the Strong Men of Value 2022. We had a ripper call starting off, but don't worry, the next intake's in April. But if you can't wait until then, I highly recommend you check out the online breakthrough experience. It is a 6-week self-paced course that you can go through by yourself with the most effective teachers in an easy to digest format, available for any bloke on the planet. It's going to help you eliminate self-doubt and limiting beliefs, communicate with yourself and others with ease, learn how to start taking action towards your goals, chunk time, be more efficient, and learn how to live with purpose and so much more, right? Because right now there are so many career-driven men who are missing out on life, and you may be one of them. The truth is that your past experiences and mindset are holding you back from taking your life to that next level, and this course will help you break through that. So definitely check that out at themanthatcanproject.com breakthrough experience. Enjoy today's episode. What I really want to talk about today is simplifying the goal process. What I've learned over the last 48 hours especially is just how many people and men really struggle with setting goals. Majority of the men that are a part of our Strong Men of Value Academy are extremely career-driven individuals, and they've come here because they want to establish value and fulfillment in other areas of their life. And as we know with anything, in order to achieve growth, we must set an outcome. We must set a goal. So first off, what is a goal? You'd think it'd be a very simple question, right? Really. But so many people get very overwhelmed by it that they don't take any action. They don't create any direction for their life. So to me, setting a goal is deciding on an outcome that I would like to achieve. Right? That is it. Super simple. Where I feel a lot of people struggle and a lot of these men struggle is because we are so fortunate. Anyone who's listening to this, you are extremely fortunate. Most of us live in first world countries where we have access to internet, to podcasts, to information about anything we could possibly want to learn about. Plus, the resources, the healthcare, all of these sorts of things there, right? Most of us, whether we like to admit it or we're even aware of it, we are extremely overwhelmed with opportunity. We are. Why else would we struggle to set goals? Because we know there is so much out there for us. Now, that's a good position to be in. But let's simplify this, right? There are many goal-setting strategies out there, and obviously the most common that I'm aware of anyway is that SMART formula. Okay, the specific, so specifically what is the goal? Measurable, attainable, whether you have the skill set to achieve that or it's in your scope. Okay? Relevant, it's relevant to what you actually want to achieve in your life, and time framed, right? When would you like to achieve this by? Right? That is the most common one. And I still see so many people struggling to set goals in that frame. And don't get me wrong, let's look at this quickly before we get into the simplifying process. I just want to give you some context to why I feel this is really, really important for you to listen to today. When we look at finances, if we're setting goals around money, it's very easy to decide, hey, I would like to save this much money. I would like to have this much passive income. It is tangible. You can see whether you hit the goal or not. You can see whether your savings are building up or you're spending more, right? You can see that. So you're getting quite frequent feedback, right? And within that feedback, it can be motivating or it can also hold you back, right? It can be a bit demoralizing. But the point of that is there is quite frequent feedback and it's tangible. That being said, with things like your relationship, with things like improving your mental or emotional well-being, it's not as easy to make tangible, or at least that's what people think. No matter what goal you're setting, there is a way to make it tangible. I truly believe this. And whether it's outcome-based or it's process-based, you can do things. I was on the phone before with one of our members, and he's a great bloke. And one of the things that's really important to him right now is being able, he's working at home because COVID has got a lot of people working at home. And for those who have families and kids at home, you're probably experiencing this. You can probably really relate to this story. But while he's working at home, his kids are on school holidays at the moment and he's working away, and his kids don't really understand the boundary between work and dad time. So they'll come up while he may be on a conference call and they'll bug him and do all this sort of stuff. And occasionally he finds himself snapping. So one of his goals is, hey, I just want to make sure that every time my children come up, I don't snap and I don't become resentful towards them interrupting me, because he really appreciates those moments. Right? He knows they're only there for a moment in time before they grow up. So he wants to appreciate that. So how do you make that tangible over, say, for example, a 12-week game plan? Or how do you set a goal to do that better? And how do you make it tangible? Sorry, easy. To be better, you just stop doing it, right? The goal could be to make it less frequent. So here's what you can do, or here's what I recommend doing to make it measurable. One thing that I believe truly helps how we show up in our daily life is visualizing, right? Or being fucking intentional. Part of our 12-week game plan there is set your intentions for the day. And not too many, just 3. But how do you want to fucking show up? And one of the intentions for this gentleman that I recommended, or even just said, hey, let's test it. What do we got to lose? We've got nothing to fucking lose here. This is about finding what works for you. What we agreed upon was this. He meditates every morning in the sauna. So I said, hey, why not, while you're meditating, why don't you practice your gratitudes and practice all the things that you're grateful for about your family? Nothing else. Don't be grateful about anything else. Spend that time to be practicing gratitude towards your children, towards your wife, around what you love about them and how you want to treat them throughout the day. And then as you're wrapping it up, spend some time focusing on, hey, there's a high possibility that the kids are going to interrupt me today. I know for a fact I appreciate and I love my children. So I don't want to react. I don't want to snap. This is how I want to respond when they're there. And you decide on what that is, but you go through that whole process within your morning intentions and your morning visualization or gratitudes. So that way you're prepping for the day, because if that does happen throughout the day, you're going to, when that moment comes, you're going to go, hey, fuck, I've been here before and I don't want to snap. This is how I decided I was going to respond today. I've already been through that. And if you can do that daily, so our tangible was to do that every day for a month. Right? So you're going to have 30 days where you intentionally spend 10 minutes in the sauna thinking about what you're grateful for and how you want to respond to your children in that manner. And let's just see how it goes. Looking back over the month, how many times did you snap? So obviously write down every time you snap so you can track it. But that's going to give you feedback, whether that's worthwhile use of your time or not. It may not be, but you've got nothing to lose in that process, right? And so I just wanted to share that, because there's always a way to, whether it's through building a habit, being intentional, tracking when you snap, tracking date nights, various things like that, you can figure that out. And if you struggle with that, well, you know where to find my DMs, and I might be able to help you if I've got time. But let's get into it simply. So the reason why I feel like so many men are not setting goals is because we're fucking afraid to make decisions. We don't want to take responsibility for the outcome of our life because, hey, what if I'm wrong? What if someone judges me? That falls back on me. You're more than happy to take responsibility for how you view yourself in that situation, but you're not happy to take responsibility for the quality of your life, the outcome, the goals that you set, the outcomes that you want. So you need to make decisions. And I've put out a post on Instagram today. So for those who are listening to this, sorry, this was yesterday. Go back to the post that I put there. But there's 5 things that I really said to focus on. You can read the rest of it there. For those who are watching on YouTube, you can see them there. But you need to decide what you want from your life, whether it's in a few years' time, in a long period of time, or just next week. Right? That's you setting an outcome, deciding on an outcome, which is in turn a fucking goal. It's something that you want. Right? In order to make that happen, you need to decide what you can do right now to make it possible in your life. So, guys, one thing that I've committed to this year in 2022 is making this podcast one of the fastest growing men's performance coaching podcasts out there to help you with your mindset, to help career-driven men get more of their life back while still being successful. I'm so committed to that. I'm reaching out to get more influential guests on, more experts on there, but I'm also investing in my own upskilling in regards to how I communicate and my own knowledge, because I want to provide more value for you guys on these episodes to the point that our community is thriving and gaining incredible results. I'm committed to that. So that was a decision that I made for an outcome that I want in my life. And why do I want that? Because I believe the more people I can impact throughout our podcast, the more of you blokes that are going to want to be a part of our Strong Men of Value community. That's what I truly believe. But I also love podcasting. It's good fun. Helps me understand what I learn on a deeper level because I am here trying to teach it and trying to explain it. But now I've made that decision. I need to decide what I can work on right now. So when I made that decision, what I needed to work on right now was a roadmap to make that happen. I had to also decide what I felt I needed to improve upon in order to be better at podcasting. And a few things that came out for me for that was obviously my communication. I want to minimize swearing. I'd love to get more influential guests on. I want to challenge more people on the podcast. I want to have more marketing material. I want to encourage you guys to share the episodes more to help this program and show grow. There are a few of the things that I decided that I can do right now to grow the show. The next thing was that plan of action, right? All of those things fell in the plan of action. In my calendar, I'm doing 2 podcasts a week, one with a guest and one solo. Because once again, I want to provide more value. I want to have more of a reason for you guys to listen to the show. Okay. The next thing was deciding that I would commit to take action on the plan. Obviously, I've been doing the podcast since 2017 and I haven't missed a beat. I already know I'm committed. I already know I'm consistent. There's just a few things that I'm looking to upskill and improve upon that maybe I've turned a blind eye to, in the past, but this is what I believe is going to help the podcast go to a whole new level. I believe it's going to add a whole new level of value for everyone listening. Because I want you to be better. I want you to get what you want from your life. And I want you to feel that you would get value from our community because we've got so many like-minded men who are there because they want to be better. And finally, to review the progress. I've decided that I'm going to review the progress to find out what I feel is working well for me. In 12 weeks' time, how's the listeners going? Am I getting more engagement? Has there been growth within our community? How do I feel I've gone? I personally edit my episodes because 1, I could outsource them, but 2, I want to gain feedback through watching it. I want to see if I can improve my questions, my energy within the podcasts and various other things like that. So for me, it's a bit of a feedback tool as well. So there's so much there that I can get feedback from, but I've decided all of those are part of the process to achieve a goal. Okay. So to make that simple, you don't have to go into as much depth. And I truly believe, and I was saying to this gentleman that I used as the example earlier, it took me 4 years to really nail a goal. Right? I'd been doing 90-day game plans, and I got that idea. We do 12-week game plans, but I got the idea of 90-day game plans from when I was doing network marketing. And I failed and got distracted, and life got in the way so many times. But every time I set up to do a goal, I made a decision on what I want, I gained feedback. I learned that, hey, that wasn't really a priority for me. I found out things that were, could easily steal my focus. So I had to get stronger at enforcing boundaries. I had to get more strong in saying no. I had to learn to control my focus, all things which have now helped me with my goal setting in the future. So there's never a failed goal, I believe. There's only the opportunity to learn. So get started and just make a decision. It doesn't have to be, you don't have to have 3 at once. Just choose one, work towards it and see how that goes for you. And, I guess for anyone to achieve anything, it takes repetition, right? To build self-confidence in anything, it's repetition, repetition, repetition. Right? If you want to be more confident on a podcast, do more fucking podcasts. If you want to be more confident in the gym, get your ass in the gym more often. If you want to be more comfortable talking to the opposite sex or the same sex, talk to more of them. Right? Repetition, repetition, repetition. But where we fail, where we truly fail, is we're not persistent enough. You may go to the gym 3 times and you jump on the scale and your weight hasn't shifted. You go, I'm going to give it another week. But if there's no change on the scales in a week's time, I think I'm going to have to call it here. It's not for me. The gym isn't for me. You go to the gym again, a couple more times, another 3 times, you jump on the scales, you've lost like 0.2 of a kilo. You go, 2 more days. And if I haven't dropped weight, this isn't working for me. It's just not working. And you get back to the gym and look, you've lost another, gram. And you decide that all of a sudden, this isn't for me. You didn't once look outside the scope and go, was the training that I was doing with intensity? Was I doing the right training? How was my nutrition? How was my sleep, my hydration? You lose a goal because you don't start utilizing the whole experience's feedback for you. I'm going to leave you with this because I'll talk about this all day otherwise. Every goal you do, every action that you take is feedback based around where you're at, where your skill set is, where your mindset is, and should you really want to improve. You need to fucking take a look at that feedback and be honest with yourself and go, hey, this is what I feel the next step is for me in order to get there. You might be like me where it took you 4 years to actually complete a 90-day game plan or a 12-week game plan. But I didn't stop showing up. And the reason why I do this for a living is because my whole life has dramatically changed since 2014. Having persistence, having resilience, being okay to learn, being okay to put your hand up for help, but use every experience you've ever had as a form of reflection to be better. So gents, the simple takeaway from this is just start making decisions and acting on the fucking decisions. That's it. Make decisions. Pure and simple. Sorry. The more decisions you make, the better you're going to get at making the right decision or the best decision for you. Once again, if you've got value from this episode, please share it on your socials, tag myself. I love it when you guys tag it, and just share what your feedback is or anything else you would love to hear on the show, or any recommended guests. Definitely slide into the DMs. I love chatting with you guys. I spend a lot of time chatting with you all within our Facebook group and everything like that. Now, gents, as our Strong Men of Value is full up, you can check out the Breakthrough Experience. It's an epic online course where you can learn to communicate better. You can learn how to chunk and structure your time better, and so many other things like overcoming limited beliefs. It is something that I'm truly proud of. I probably don't talk about enough, but soon you'll have to have gone through that in order to be a member of the Strong Men of Value program, because I believe it is that fucking beneficial. Anyway, gents, go check it out at the website, manthatcanproject.com/breakthrough experience. I look forward to having you guys tune in on next Monday's conversation. Thank you for listening to the Man That Can Project podcast. My name is Lachlan Stuart, and I hope you enjoyed this episode and found it helpful. If you did, please take a moment to rate and review the Man That Can Project on your favorite podcast platform. And don't forget to subscribe to stay up to date with our newest episodes. We'll see you again next time.